So let's get started. These are your needed supplies. We have rubber bands, and that is to hold your flowers together while you are using the resin. We have black marker to mark your cups. We have 3 cups here, and I like clear because we can actually see where we're marking and watch the resin being mixed. We have cutters here, and this is actually half a dowel rod because it is tall enough to stir my resin together. We have our flower arrangement, and I put rocks in the bottom line just to give some added interest, so that'll look really good when we're all done. And lastly, I have this Wood glaze coat, and it's got the resin and the hardener in it. And I really like this one. They sell it at local hardware stores. They sell it on Home Depot. .com, I'd assume Lowe's, maybe something close to you. They also sell that. Check out your local hardware stores. But I actually got mine on Amazon for a really good price, and I needed a large quantity of it. I was making about 50 or 60 centerpieces, and these little 16-ounce, 8-ounce things they were selling in local craft stores just weren't working for me. So I went ahead and got this, and I'll show you that here in a second. You're going to need a clean workspace. And I think that's it, so let's get started. Alright, so a tip for when you're working with fake flowers, what I do at least, is you want to take your fake flower and put it next to the jar you're going to be using to see how high you want it to be. And I actually want mine to be very close to the top, so we're gonna nip that right off right there. Alright, and this little leaf is in the way too, so we're just going to trim that off and put it in there. Bend that a bit. So that's what we want. Okay, so I went ahead and added some stones to each one of my jars. And I was thinking this would be a cool project if you go to like the beach or something with your family. Or maybe out west and you collect some stones and you guys just want to keep that memory. You could put that in resin with some flowers, put up on your shelf. That'd be really nice, just as a memento. So those are all ready to go. And then this one I added a bunch of extra greenery to. This one I am just going to grab all this up and just rubber band it together. Let's see here. Okay, the only thing you want to keep in mind when working with this resin, especially for this one, the pieces I had, they're a little bit short, so we're just going to have to make sure our resin comes up to at least there, and yeah, it doesn't cover your rubber band, so I think that'll work real good. So these are all prepped and ready to go. Next thing we're going to do is mix our resin. And you can see I've been using it a lot. Alright, we have our 3 plastic cups, and I learned from another YouTuber, on the bottom of one of them we're just going to mark a B, and that B stands for the black lid, so that we always know this cup goes with the black mix. And then we'll have this cup, and then this will be the one we mix in over here. Done with the rubber bands. Alright, now the thing with resin is you want to make sure you're using equal parts. Okay, and that's where these lines come in. They really help. So we're going to go, I think we're going to go 5 up. That should be enough for our arrangements. Now we are going to pour both these mixes into this mixing cup I have. Now the instructions actually say to mix this for 6 minutes until it's well mixed together. But I did that once and it turned out really yellow and full of bubbles. So I recommend just mixing it until you can tell that it's well mixed together and there's no more lines in it. Let me see if I can show you that. Do you see how there's sort of lines in there right now? We don't want those, so we want to keep mixing. Alright, so as you can see, this is mixed really well, and I let it sit there for a few minutes so most of the bubbles have popped, and it's actually a little warm. It's starting to work. So we're going to go ahead and start pouring into our flower arrangements. And what we want to do is just take that out and pour it right in there. With all the rocks in there, it helps because then you can actually use less resin altogether. Alright, and now we're just going to put our sunflowers in there. Oops, sorry. Let me get you some light. And so that's what that looks like. And we're just going to let that sit overnight, okay? And I'll show you in the morning what that looks like. But that turned out pretty cool. We're going to put that to the side. Grab our next little guy. It definitely doesn't need a lot. Okay, same thing. Resin. One actually is going to be a little more difficult because we got so much going on in there. So we're going to take the bundle out and just pour this in there. Okay, so as you can see, we have our resin and our rocks. Looks pretty cool. I mean, it really does look like water. And we're just gonna put those in there. I actually got this vase, so cute. I got it from the local Goodwill. I think it was like $1, and I had a 20% off coupon, so can't beat that. Alright, so since these actually have metal in them inside the wires, we're just going to mess with it once it's set tomorrow to get it the way we want to look. But for now, it's definitely in there. You can see the stems in there. And we're just going to let it sit and dry overnight. And I will show you in the morning how these turn out. So I'd like to show you how well these turned out. This is after 24 hours. And you can tell it's like fake water in there. It turned out pretty cool. Hardly any bubbles. This is that one. And we've got this Faux Flower one over here. So yeah, these turned out really cool. And now we are going to trim off these blue rubber bands that we put in place just to hold them. So we'll do that now. Alright, so next I'm going to go place them where I'm going to be using them, and you guys can check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, or leave me a comment below. Also, you can find additional information in the info box and a link to my blog with this tutorial and others. Thanks for watching. There we go.